Let's go, boys. Guys? Episode 8. We are still going. Honestly, shocked we've made it 8 episodes in a row, but guys, this is a huge win and a success for Team Late to the Mic. I'm Patrick. I'm here with Troy and Chaise and our special guest today, Antoine. How we doing, bud?
Doing great, man. How you guys doing?
Amazing.
Doing awesome.
All good.
Trying to get my lighting together right now. My hair is a mess under here. That's why I decided to wear a hat because child, let me tell you.
No, that makes sense. I know the hair is a constant struggle for you. For those who don't know, Antoine has a ponytail, and you can only see it at the show. And make sure when you see him at shows, you ask him to see the ponytail. Okay, guys?
It's like one of those Shaolin monk deals, you know.
It goes with the martial arts, right? That's how it just works.
Yeah, the next show you come to, can you wear your gi?
Probably not.
What do you mean no? Come on. Just for one day.
That's how the crazy black martial arts guys in New York look in Central Park, like doing tiger claw on trees and stuff. And
I have an interesting story that involves that exact scenario.
See what I'm saying?
And I feared for my life. So
oh my God. I just really think it would add to the show environment. I mean, like Snake Discovery does that, right? They have like the dress up for the event. We should do a dress up with Antoine.
What if we just talk them into doing like a karate thing and then Antoine can wear it just to fit in?
Antoine? I have connections. Troy has better connections and Chaise knows people.
You know, I'm cool with embarrassing myself, so we'll see.
All right. I will find the coolest like 1980s gi that I can find. I don't know if they've ever changed, but
I will buy you a full Steven Seagal.
No, you gotta find the Dragonfly Jones one. That was Martin's character in the 90s with the red gi and the bed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I remember a red gi and I was trying to think who it was. So that's funny.
Jones.
Yep.
Guys, I think we do this for March Tenley. I think this happens.
Yeah.
Okay. If nothing else, even if it's just us 4, we're gonna make this happen.
It would be so great.
March Tenley is always my birthday weekend, so you know we can turn up a little bit.
I'm in. All right. Well, Troy, how's your week been?
Outside of having the flu, and getting rid of every bodily fluid that I had for a couple days.
Gross.
It's been okay. I got home 6 a.m. on Monday from the Reptilian Nation Denver, Colorado show, which was a success. And more so, like me, Lisa, and Joe had a really good time. We got some hiking in. We went up into Mountain Falcon and a couple other parks. We tried to find some rattlers. We were looking for some snakes. We even met with a DNR guy, and he kind of gave us some help, but also was encouraging us to be quite safe. And so that was an interesting conversation.
How's the altitude with the hiking?
Wait, what altitude were we at?
No, I know what you're at. I'm saying, how did it affect you when you're doing like the hiking and stuff?
Yeah. So, Antoine, you know me well enough that you know that I'm fat. But I actually enjoy hiking. I was hurting. Like I at one point these two like 70 or 80-year-old people cruised right by me, and I'm like dying laughing, but at the same time I couldn't catch my breath. So I think when Lisa and I have been there before and we've been there for like 3, 4, 5 days, I feel fine. But I think just getting there, Thursday night and then hiking Friday morning, I felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. Joe and Lisa were like 10 feet ahead of me, and this 70-year-old couple cruised by me, and then I caught up with Joe and Lisa, and I was like, I'm maybe 45. But my body is obviously over 70 because those people cruised right past me.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Chaise, how about you? How's your week been, bub?
Man, it's been good. Pretty constructive. I've actually not been at the facility for a few days.
Okay.
Just on like a business retreat, and
nice.
Just had a seminar, so I got to go do that for a few days, and then back today. Feeding day, of course, as always, as we're jumping on Late to the Mic, and it was another awesome feeding day. I was super happy with the results.
Sweet.
So looking forward. I've got a bunch of shipping stacked for Monday, and I'm looking forward to knocking that out.
Yeah. Any cool snakes that you're allowed to talk about?
Never.
Okay. Fair enough. Never. I'm just looking forward to the day when y'all start actually hatching cool stuff over there. I mean, apparently.
Oh yeah. I mean, because it's all normals right now.
Well, I mean,
I think we just got some pet hides. We're really making steps.
Yeah, I would just assume that like if y'all had something cool, you would talk about it, and you just never talk about it. So deduction clearly says it's just a bunch of normals, right?
Definitely, that's all it is. You know, we've got that secret room still now at the new facility that everyone talked about at the old one. So that's where all the good stuff is.
The good stuff, like the super normals and the
All
super
of it.
pastels. Yeah.
You have to go into the bathroom and it's turn the hot water twice and the shower handle to the left and the door opens.
Well, now we all know. It's good to know.
Now Troy let it all out. Now I've got to go change it.
Yeah, sorry about that. Now it's gonna be the cold water.
No, I'll be there in a couple of weeks. Don't change it.
Antoine, how's your week been, bud?
Cool, man. I got my ARS rack in today. I'm completely 100% away from like PVCs and other type of non-ARS or freedom breeder stuff. So that came in today, but with limited tools and furniture in my house because stuff still isn't here. I started putting that thing together, and man, this boy's back is on fire.
Oh no! Which hybrid did you get?
The 5540.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And then like an idiot, I got the 3 extra tiers, and then on the line last night, my good friends did the math to me and said, "Hey man, I don't think your ceiling's high enough to put 3 extra tiers."
Oh no!
And they were right.
That's rough.
So,
oh no.
But I'll just get another base and start another rack anyway. So, but I needed the space. So yeah. So my animals and the rest of my house is still in California because I've been having issues with moving companies for a while now.
Okay.
But now that I have this rack, my inventory and my adult males will be here next week. And then when I head back there Veterans Day weekend, I'm packing up all the adult females and then driving my other car back along with my dogs. So that's gonna be a nice little 4-day drive with 2 pit bulls in the back.
Oh my goodness!
Try to make it across country. Yay!
Oh my goodness! So who's taking care of the animals right now?
My son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he graduated 2 years ago and he moved in with me right away. You know, because him and his mom, we've been divorced for like forever, but he wanted to move in with me and kind of switch things up, whatever. But he didn't want to go to school, so the last 2 years it's like a lot of made up time and stuff too. Just kind of teaching him how to like be independent and do like man shit and not be coddled by mom for so long and stuff too. So and it was rough, dude. Like it was like a real like battle the first 6 months. I didn't think he was gonna make it, man. I was just like
he wasn't gonna make it, or you weren't gonna make it. Which one of you?
Man. I was like, dude, you're the exact opposite of me, man. You're like super introverted. Like you didn't lack that like hustle that I have because because everything everything's just been given to him his whole life. So he really doesn't have that struggle thing, which is good. That means you're doing the right thing as a parent, kind of, but it still has to be a balance,
Yeah, I get that.
So, but over time, he got his stuff together and kind of come along now. So he bought his first car last week.
Awesome.
He found his own place, and which I wanted him to come back here, but he told me his son, "Hey man, I'm ready to go out on my own," which I had a little proud dad moment there.
Yeah.
But just like, kicking them out of the house with a 745 credit score, man, is always awesome, and when you just walk into the bank and go, "Hey, I need a check for this amount of money," and they go, "All right." I can't think of a time I ever walked into a bank and said, "Give me money," and I wasn't trying to rob them. So
Wow. No comment there.
But as a parent though, you do what you gotta do. And when your kid is telling you they're ready, I mean, you gotta kind of respect that. So
I mean, how old is your son?
He's 20 now. So
okay, cool, man. That's all. That's fantastic, man.
Yeah, I just always had this thing where I didn't want to like tell my kids, "Okay, you're 18 now, either go to college or get out," type of thing. I never wanted that to happen,
Yeah.
So, but my youngest daughter, she graduated and she moved out the very next day, and she works for some solar company out here in North Carolina near me, where she's making like $35 an hour right out of high school and stuff.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, so she's killing it now, man, and she's just having a good time. She lives with her boyfriend and stuff too. So, I mean, it's just all around good kids, man. And as parents, all we can hope for is, just produce some productive members of society, that's actually, leaving this place better than they found it. So, and I'm happy with that, bro.
Yeah, that's a win. Chase's parents are still hoping that they have society.
They text me weekly, like, "Hey, you doing better yet?" Like,
it worked out for a couple of the siblings, but Chase, he's the problem still. So maybe someday
I'm
you'll
definitely the anchor of the group. Yeah.
Yes, maybe someday you'll make your parents proud. Maybe.
I'm sure your parents are real happy that you clean up snake shit.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Sherry's very proud.
Yeah, that's why Troy's mom actually gave him away, because she knew that's what he
Oh my God.
Oh my
Chaise
God.
loaded that up and let it rip.
Man, I'm kind of speechless. I'm not used to Chaise throwing shit at me.
Oh my God. He just came in flying. Troy, I'd like to apologize on behalf of all of us for Chaise's behavior here tonight. This
Thank
is
you.
outrageous.
Thank you. I would
And
like to have a talk when the show's over.
Yeah, this is strike one. You get one more strike, and then we're throwing you out for targeting.
The HR department of Late to the Mic already.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm the head of HR right now, and I basically allow. You're in trouble. Everyone else is fine.
That's great.
See, somebody said that because the show was late to the mic, I was supposed to show up a few minutes late, but I was like, I don't think so. They tried to trick me.
No, it's okay. Sometimes I don't even show up.
Yeah, I mean,
true.
We threw everyone off today because we were actually on time. This is,
man.
I know, this is good. Antoine, what was the reason for the move from West Coast to East Coast?
So the goal was California was supposed to be a 3-year thing in the first place, just to get out there and have a change of scenery for a little bit. But just getting caught up in the job and just like all the other stuff I had going on out there. I went from just like working for the government out there to doing fight promotions to opening my own business and doing multiple businesses at the same time. It just grew into this big thing that I didn't even see coming, you know? So, so I always had, the first couple of years, I always had one foot in the door there, but I finally just, dug both feet to the ground and opened up the MMA gym. I was working a full-time job. I had the fighter management company. I'm the vice president of a fight promotion out there. So we're just doing a whole bunch of things, man, that just had me caught up in there, and it was hard to leave. But like 2 years ago, I was finally like, you know what? I think I'm ready to retire from aviation and kind of do everything else full-time, especially the reptiles and everything. But the way the economy is right now, it just wasn't like last year. I did like almost triple the amount of clutches I did this year. And it was like, oh my God, we about to be rich. And then all of a sudden, what every other reptile breeder is going through for the most part, So, but I still wanted to leave. So when my daughter graduated, the guy from the company over here, somebody recognized me in the crowd. And it was like, hey, are you Antoine Hood? And I was like, well, if I owe you money, I'm not. But
yeah, smart move right there.
So he was like, yeah, I'm from, blah, blah, blah. And we know you've been trying to get back to the East Coast for so long. So like, what would it take you to get back here? I was like, well, if you match my California pay, then I got you. He was like, okay, done.
Woof.
And I'm like,
there you go. And it's like you just started making triple all of a sudden, right?
So the Monday I flew back, I put in my resignation. I gave him a hard date.
Yeah.
And I was like out of there. So, but I only plan on doing this for another year because the Harrier's going away anyway. It's getting decommissioned real soon, and F-35 is taking it over. And I have no plans of like learning that aircraft and doing anything else too. So after a year, I'm headed to South Carolina, and then I'm expanding reptiles a little bit and kind of get on the show circuit a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I'm opening up a gym here next month, and I'm going to open up another gym in South Carolina too. So I'm gonna just keep doing that, and then like the fight promotion stuff. So
nice, man. So why South Carolina?
It's just I like the market out there too, and like even like that area, like the housing. I'm gonna just go ahead and buy a house pretty much like with cash. That's how cheap houses are out there.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
That area too.
Antoine, isn't your family on the East Coast as well?
Yeah. My parents are in New Jersey, so it's a lot easier now too to go see them when they're having problems. My dad, he has cancer now, so he has prostate cancer, and he was like having episodes where I was flying back like out of the blue over the weekend. I spent like $12,000 in 1 month just flying out to make sure he was good to go, too. But now he's like, "Oh, I'm cured." I'm like, "You motherfucker."
That's awesome, man.
I mean, I guess that's good.
That's great, but also, yeah.
So he's doing well, man, and it's just kind of getting his life back together, and he's going to come out here and visit soon, and
good.
He's actually going to come help me build some stuff for the gym in December. So,
dude, that's fantastic. I love that. That's great to hear.
Yeah. So he's a good guy, man. He did his thing. So.
I love it, man. That's awesome. Troy, do you want to go ahead and start with your off track with Troy?
You want me to ask Antoine some fun, interesting questions?
I would love if you would do that.
Ooh, all right. Let's go with Antoine, if you could pick a favorite time period as a child, what age would you have been and why?
Has to be the early to mid 80s because that's when like all the cool martial arts movies came out. I didn't have to pay any bills. My mom thought she was Cleopatra Jones, aka Pam Grier. My dad was active duty in the Marine Corps, bringing me stuff back all the time. So the early 80s, man, it was nothing but cool cartoons and kung fu flicks for me, man. And that's still the most memorable time of my life, and I enjoyed it then. And that's when I started like actually getting into reptiles as a kid too, like finding like snakes in the fields and putting them in tanks at home and selling them for $2 a piece to the local kids. So
that's amazing.
That's awesome.
The great time before Morph Market.
Back when Steven Seagal wasn't a fat piece of shit.
For real, you know.
No, but he was just a piece of shit then.
I was gonna say just a skinny piece of shit.
Yeah.
I feel his pain now because since I shut my gym down in February, I gained like 30 pounds.
Oh no.
I love it. Yeah.
You saw
can you give me
fat, bro?
Oh, that's good stuff.
We saw you. Don't worry, Antoine. We all saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you looked fine, Antoine. I won't pick on you.
Nah, it's all right. I'll get my summer body back soon. So you know.
Yeah, I just keep the dad bod going. What else can I ask you? What about a favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory. Just like back to what I was saying before, it was like the first time the field next to my apartment building when I found my first snake. So like I said, we used to play like football and baseball in that yard. And one day I just lifted up a piece of plywood and found like a DK's like Northern Brown on the piece of plywood. And I was like, a snake! Just like screaming at the top of my lungs. And they come to find out in that field too, it was so there's no snakes, there were like salamanders and frogs out there and stuff too. And that thing just opened up to like a whole new world of like my two big passions in life, man. Like as a child, I always said I wanted to have my own martial arts gym and raise animals, like my own like personal pet store. And I've never deviated from that goal my whole entire life. So
that's awesome.
That's fantastic,
yeah,
brother.
That's good stuff,
I
man.
always love hearing that. If someone's got like a goal when they're young and then they just see it to fruition as an adult, it's just super awesome to see.
Nah, I've done a million and one things in between all that stuff, obviously, but it was always to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was photographing a senior on Monday, and we went to the park, and a garter snake was like cruising. I was like, snake, and she's like, what? And I'm like trying to catch it, So like I'm letting this poor girl like freak out and wander off while I'm chasing the snake like a child. So yeah, totally. We maybe we never lose that, I guess. So yeah.
Dude, the wildlife here at this house, man. I moved here. I find like the green anoles like attached to my window every morning. There's tree frogs out here. There's toads. There's box turtles and stuff too. So I miss my animals, but I get to go outside in the yard, other than getting jacked up by mosquitoes, which we didn't have those in the desert. I forgot they even existed, but
Yeah.
Like, why does the back of my neck feel like?
Welcome to the East Coast.
Yeah. Trying to buy a bunch of DEET. If you could live in any other time period, what time period would you want to live in?
Yeah, the time. That's hard to say, man, because a lot of these time periods was kind of racist. So
I was really hoping you were going to go like all the way back to like medieval or something, so that we could get past
like a 1950s post. They were like, "Oh, take me back to the 50s." I'm like,
it was like, I don't know if they like me much at that point. So
we'll go back to the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's a good time period. I would like to witness. I'd like to be a fly on the wall during like the height of the Vikings and like the pillaging and when they were trying to conquer different places too. Like I've always been fascinated in like that period of time, and like I'm a real big fan of Norse mythology too. So like I'm a big Norse mythology geek, so I like that time period as well. But like I said, I don't want to participate in it, but I'd like to be a third person view watching the whole thing.
There you go.
That's cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, man. I think that would be really neat. Do you feel we're going to talk about race for a second, if that's okay?
Oh God.
Yeah, this is going to be good stuff.
Off track with Troy here.
Yeah, off track with Troy. Do you feel that? I feel like the reptile industry was born out of a couple old white dudes, and is whatever came to where we are now. Do you feel the black community is represented well within our community?
I think it's a lot better than it was, and I think a lot of the racism that used to exist is a lot more private now. Because like even in the early 2000s, trying to like learn stuff about these animals and trying to get into like the bush league forums or like king steak forums, and as soon as they find out you're black, they were like, "Go back to pit bulls, Jamal," and like
Jesus Christ.
It's just always been like that big of an issue too. Like, and I mean, even now too, I see it, and a lot of people will deny it too, but I see people of color get treated differently on like Facebook forums when they ask certain questions, vice anybody else, and like women as well, So like, I've even had people message me and go, "Hey, could you post this to this group and see how people react to it?" And it was completely different from like the way a woman would too. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's just a lot of just weird stuff like that too. Whether it's like unconscious bias or not, bias is always going to be there.
Sure.
But I just think that man, money's green. Physical money. You know what I mean? So like to me, I'm just like, but I think a lot of subcultures I'm a part of are like stereotypically not what they would call a typical like African American stuff too. Because when I got into mixed martial arts, it was just a bunch of white dudes look like Chuck Liddell early on in the years too. It was, it was the country white boys and the Brazilians part of the UFC. That was it,
Yeah.
So, things like that too. And then, like the gun world is the same way because everybody knows. Well, people know that I'm a big like AR builder stuff too. So I'm a big AR-15 guy. So I've built probably thousands of them at this point. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it just like going back to the reptile industry though. I don't think it's nowhere near the way it used to be, but I think though racism is a lot more secretive now. I mean, unless you're Peter Call, but other than that,
True. He's very open about his feelings.
Well,
unfortunately.
Well, I blame a lot of people early in the days too for not checking him doing there too, because there's a lot of people around that's still around now that because he was who he was able to get away with saying whatever he wanted because you wanted something from him. So you wasn't going to be like, "Hey, that's not cool, shut the hell up," or something like that too. So, and the people that's still around now, I hold them accountable for that too, and they're part to blame. But I mean, it is what it is though. So,
yeah. No, I appreciate you sharing that knowledge. Chaise, Patrick, either one of you want to fire a question away?
This is specifically off track with Troy.
Yeah. Quit getting off track.
Yeah, you're getting off track. You're sick. I'm sick.
Oh.
Jerome, yes, I'm in a chair. I bought a stool for my kitchen yesterday.
I was gonna say Antoine has a rack in his house and now a chair. That's it.
End of list.
It, boy.
He's been sleeping on the floor and eating pizzas out of the box right on the floor and just living the bachelor life.
Hey, when I first moved to Georgia, I was sleeping in the snake room office for like 3 months.
Yeah. Guys, don't be fooled. Chaise is still sleeping in the snake building.
Sleeping on the couch Justin had in the office. Like I just fall asleep while he was doing snake work still on the computer. And then once in a while I'd get a text at like midnight, be like, "Hey, you still up by chance?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Go snake room, take a picture." I'm like, "Sure." So just open the office door, walk in, and grab a picture or something.
I love that the "you up" text messages you get from Justin are like, "Hey, can I get some snake pics?" Pretty
much, yeah.
Yeah. Antoine, I can finish out off track with Troy with this, man. You and I are in a group of friends. Myself, you, Andrew from Redwood, Jacob from Sybil, and Jerome. Kind of our core little group. We had a couple other guys in our little group thing as well. But if you had to kill one, marry one, I gotta think about this because there's 4 of us. Help me out. Chaise, Patrick, you have a dirty mind. Help me out.
Nope.
There's 4 of us.
Nope.
What?
Absolutely. You have to kill one, marry one.
Torture?
Let me see.
Ooh, torture?
Yeah,
torture. Torture one?
Or fuck. That's the 4th option. Yeah, no, that's where you go with this. It's normally kill, marry, fuck.
I guess I gotta answer this one, I guess.
Yeah.
So I would kill Andrew.
Right off the bat, you didn't even hesitate.
I was gonna say, that was uncomfortably quick.
Thoughts and prayers, Andrew.
Marry Jerome because he just seems real like husbandly material for some reason.
What is it?
He seems really domestic.
He seems domestic. Okay. All right.
So kill, marry, and torture Troy, definitely torture Troy. And I'm definitely fucking Jacob because how can you not bang somebody with a dragon tattoo on their back? So
Oh my God.
you fucking crazy.
Oh my God! I wish right now that Patrick could put up the picture of the dragon tattoo. Would be so classic.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Shout out to everybody in the group, man. Those are my guys, man. Yeah.
Good dudes.
I like how Jacob's like, I'm getting fucked.
He's like, yes, I'm still alive.
Yep.
Oh,
just with slight PTSD, it's fine. Troy, I'm sorry you're getting tortured.
To Tony too, man, for next level. Tony's in there. Josh is in that group. Kendall.
Yeah. That's awesome. Antoine, you said you were gonna ask a question.
Oh no. So I was looking at that video that you did with Justin Chaise, that 50-40 build you guys did for like a reference and stuff too.
Yeah.
What movie were you watching on the laptop?
Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
It was the first time Destiny had ever seen Tropic Thunder. Of course, I'm quoting all the lines as I'm watching
I would have never guessed the way you guys are giggling. I was like, they're definitely watching Brokeback Mountain.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That's great.
That's amazing.
Dude, that was like what, 5 years ago or something like that?
Yeah,
that's
a
long time ago.
Wow. That's amazing.
I would have never guessed Tropic Thunder.
How did Justin handle that? That's got to be amazing.
He loved it.
Yeah.
No, we watch movies like that all the time.
I love it.
No, he loved it. I was so excited to be like, no, you got to watch this movie.
Oh my God, that's so good.
But you can see doing the time lapse stuff. Justin look up and go. What the fuck, dude? Oh man,
that's amazing.
Crazy. Tropic Thunder. That's awesome.
I loved seeing what's his name? Tony Stark. What's his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yes, on Joe Rogan, and he's like, at the time,
I
didn't be doing blackface because Ben Stiller got in more trouble for doing the Simple Jack character.
Right, dude. The only people that were upset with Robert Downey Jr. being in blackface were other white people. That's it.
What do you mean?
There wasn't one black person.
What do you mean, you people?
About that because we knew what it was. It was a satire movie about the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all about context. So.
Oh my God. That still had to be mildly uncomfortable when Robert Downey Jr. gets the script and they're like, all right, so here's the deal.
Dude, halfway through the movie, I forgot he did that good of a job. I was like, he looks just like my uncle.
That's great. That's good stuff.
Oh, that makes me smile so big. Thank you for that. That's amazing. All right, we should probably take a few minutes and actually talk about snakes. So Antoine, your snake collection, what are we looking at?
I got some ball pythons and shit.
That's about it? Nothing else?
I'm getting the green tree this before the end of the year.
Okay.
I want to get a red neonate. So I got talking to a few people right now to see when that's going to happen. And now that I'm not in California, I got kind of a bigger palette to use now. So I'm getting some otters as well. So I know that's weird, but I'm getting some.
Did you say some otters?
Yes.
Like I absolutely love otters. You're getting otters?
Yeah,
like the adorable
those Asian short clawed otters or whatever is what I'm trying to get.
Dude.
No, forget snakes for the moment. The otters are now the conversation. Okay. How do you acquire otters?
They're like my happy animal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love them things, man. So
how big of a pond do we need for an otter? Let's start there.
Well, they can split their time between being indoors and then just having like outdoor enrichment. So I actually have enough room in my yard to put a small pond in so they can spend time in there and I can fence it off and keep them away from the dogs for as long as they need it. So
you're gonna have house otters?
And then there's a bunch of creeks and stuff out here where actually wild otters are too. So I might end up just getting them harnesses and taking them out in the wild.
What?
Dude, I've been begging Lisa to let me get otters, and this has not worked.
I never even thought that was a possible. So how much does an otter cost? Let's go there.
I get them on the hookup, man. There's like a girl I know who works out one of the vet clinics here, and said the person wants to surrender theirs, and but they're gonna hold on to them until I'm ready. So I'm just gonna pick them up.
What did you have to promise to do to that girl to get that kind of hookup?
We're good friends from the Marine Corps, so I've known her for like 20 years though. And
there's a guy
when I was here before. This was like my main vet over here too for reptiles and my dogs too when I was breeding dogs. So
okay,
we've been friends for a long time. So she knows how I feel about the otters.
Amazing. I am spectacularly jealous. Oh my
God. Dude, otters are awesome.
If you want to see the kind I'm talking about, Dave Kaufman has one on his channel. It's the same exact species. It's like Are Otters Good Pets or something like that. So he actually has a video
good pets?
about. Was that?
Are otters good pets?
Yeah. So I don't know. They little assholes. They make a lot of noise though. A lot.
They make a lot of noise and they can stink.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
I mean, I'm equally as probably noisy and stinky, so it's fine. God, this is great. I want an otter now. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we should all get an otter.
Can we do that? That's going to be we're going to get geese, and then we're also going to get otters together.
We have to wear a gi and have just an otter like chilling on my shoulder.
Oh my God!
I was going to do a podcast around him too. And I was going to call it YI Otter. I'm not playing.
Oh my!
Stop it! Stop it!
I love it.
Go home, Antoine. You're drunk. Oh my God. Chaise, let Abby know we're getting otters. Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna love that.
I know she will. You won't.
I'm already,
yeah.
I'm already.
Chase loves when Abby brings home things like baby bears and.
Okay, the baby bear was cool. That was cool.
That's a little. You say that now. I feel like in the moment you were like hard pass, and then she's like, "Nope, it's already here."
It was okay, but then I was like, yeah, all right, you know what? That was pretty cool.
Chase was hoping that the bear would kill the cat.
Well,
and it turned out it didn't.
It turned out it didn't. All right. So, how big is the ball python collection, Antoine?
I cut down a lot early in the year. I got rid of what I call like the fluff. So I think I'm down to about 60 adult females.
Okay.
15 to 20 adult males, and then a bunch of like grow ups and stuff too. So I would say just a hair on the 200.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a lot of grow ups. That's a good amount of stuff.
I had a whole rack full of normal looking snakes. That's like possible quints and quads and shit too. That's pending shed test and stuff that there's not test for, and so
nice.
Yeah,
So what are some of the main projects?
I missed on the sunset puzzle last year, but I'm doing the breeding. I'm pairing them again next month.
Okay.
But I don't know if you guys know, but someone hit it, right?
No.
Yep.
Who hit it?
Brock.
Did he? He just hasn't shown it yet?
Yeah, he's waiting for it to shed.
Okay. Were you supposed to let everybody know that he hit it?
He didn't tell me to not tell anybody.
Oh.
So but he talked about it. Well, he talked about it at Tenley. He was like, "Hey man, I got the clutch hatching," and then I messaged him last week, and he was like, "Fuck," he's like, "Yeah, dude, I hit it." And he said it's a pretty snake. He said the reds pop on it too, but he wants to wait till it sheds to show it. So hopefully he shows it before the weekend is out, or early Monday, or early Tuesday. If it if it's a decent sized hatchling and it's having the regular cycle.
So he didn't show any pictures to you?
Nope. Yeah, okay. Because there's no way I would have been like, okay, dude, promise me you're not gonna promise me you ain't gonna show nobody else.
So can I take away from this conversation that I should never share a secret with you? Is that what I just learned?
Well, that project was kind of near and dear to my heart because I was literally like the furthest ahead on it, and I'm kind of pissed that I didn't get it first. But I'm happy for Brock. But I mean, I'd be a liar if I didn't say I was a little bit jealous. Well, a lot of bit jealous.
Sure.
But yeah, that was the thing I felt was going to put me on the map as far as animal wise. Like, to me, honestly, man, the social media stuff is cool, and being on podcasts and doing a YouTube and being like a public appearance like face is all cool too. But I want to be known for making dope animals. That's my first priority. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Everything else.
I hope you quit breeding ball pythons and start breeding otters.
Dude.
Everything else is just extra to me, man. So still working the Ultramel Batman until these Ultramel clown prices tanked too, man. I'm kind of pissed about that.
What do you mean they tanked? They're still solid.
Not as nice as a Monarch.
I mean,
But, like,
30.
But dude, yeah, but I mean, it's like cut in half from like a year ago, though. So,
is it? I mean,
yeah,
we
like,
had males for
$3,000 now, bro.
we just sold one for 35.
Yeah,
but I mean,
they were like $6,700 last year.
Were they actually selling at that? Because like we sold some at like 5 and 55,
so,
but
who knows? But
yeah, it's still. I get what you're saying, though. I mean,
but I would like to see this project through. I want to hit the Ultramel Batman, and then I can also hit the Powerball Ultramel Clown too. So
okay.
I like people like kind of turn their head at like the super spot nose, but I love to keep that back as like some breeding stock too. You know what I mean? And
sure. We whiffed on both the Ultramel Batman and then also the Cypress Ultramel, like Batman and Cypress Ultra Clown stuff. It was rough this year on that for us, but that's exciting, man. Hopefully you hit it.
And then
I can't just hit a DG Batman. Like
what's that?
I've had so many shots at a DG Batman, and I've missed every time.
Dude, we hit DG Confusion Clown stuff before we hit the DG Batman stuff. Same thing. It's like just can't hit it, but whatever. It is what it is, I guess.
I like that DG Confusion Clown you got.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So,
hey, how about we just sit here and listen to you guys talk about your DG Clown stuff? Go ahead, talk about it.
We will. Troy, how about we talk about your DG Clown stuff? Okay, good.
And then I'm also into the Enhancer G-Stripe Clown project. I'm sticking a bunch of stuff into that. So
yeah,
I got a lot of.
He means DG.
No,
you mean DG.
No, I mean Enhancer. It's it's the superior DG.
It's the superior DG that's the same.
I still always make sure I say DG or Enhancer Kiki. Like I've always got to give credit to Kevin Bluefort for having that
it's the not ashy desert goose.
It's going to be interesting to see if they truly are like the extra gene with Enhancer versus Desert Ghost, like what the difference is, if there really truly is actually genetically a difference.
Yeah, I've been mixing both. I've hit pin Desert Ghost before, pin Enhancers, and like honestly, when I mix both lines, it comes out with a better animal to me. You know, I wish I could have like having the tuck to post it, but I'll show you guys later the difference between my pinstripe Enhancer and my pinstripe Enhancer Bell or whatever Bell line DG.
Yeah,
it looks like it looks nuclear. I think it's just like whoa, just like glowing.
Right.
You got to put some hater blockers on to open up the tub, but look at that thing, man. You know?
That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
So that I'm trying to expand on like the monsoon project. So I'm doing a Xanthic DG monsoon. So
okay.
So I'm just gonna skip. I haven't even made a monsoon yet. Oh, there's Xanthic DG. So I'm just like, fuck it. Let's just skip all of these because you know, a lot of these projects, man, that we see now, I just feel like a year from like you gotta look like a year or two in advance and look how the prices are gonna dip now. So you should always be improving on it anyway. You know, so I'm just always like looking a couple moves ahead at a lot of these combos and genes, and because to me, if you're trying to chase it, you're already too late. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Unless your name is actually Chaise, and that you're a little bit different than that one. But I
Who says I'm not working the same thing too already? Who says I'm not working the same thing already?
Yep. So, yeah, man, you guys got some nice little quad heads you just hatched too. I saw on the live too.
Yeah, man.
So I'm gonna be inquiring about those in person.
Yeah. I'm stoked about the open house.
Dude, I didn't even know that the Xanthic DG Clown was even old enough to fucking breed, let alone already have babies on the ground.
Oh man, he never missed a meal for me, and then. Literally, first time I put him with a girl, boom, just.
And that was the first one you guys said was a female, right? The very first one,
female.
Right. Okay. So
yeah, we got a pair in that first clutch.
That's insane. Okay.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, it was that to the Mojave Monsoon. Yeah, I want a pair of bad boys. So. Oh man.
Antoine, going backwards a little bit, man. What was your overall thoughts about Tenley?
So I'll be honest with you. This was the first big reptile show that I had. I didn't have to like deal with selling the animals, obviously, and I really wasn't on a shopping mission either, or even like a social call because of the grappling thing on Friday.
Yeah.
And it was the most stressful time ever. Like, honestly, it's my fault because I could have easily said, hey, guys, I'm moving across country. I need some help promoting this thing. Can we do this? Can we do that? And I'm sure a lot of people would have helped out. But I just didn't want to kind of throw that burden on anybody else, because I know how I wanted things to be. But I think I royally screwed up on that because we could have made a lot more money on it. So anyway, the day of, just trying to hustle those tickets in person, and I'm screaming up and down the aisles and stuff going, get your ticket to blah blah blah. I almost lost my voice that day, So, but like I said, I mean, it was for a good cause. So, and we did do okay. I think we did a little over, 10 to 11K stuff too. But my original goal was 25,000 because I was going to take a big chunk of that and donate to Brian Barczyk's project too. But it just didn't work out like that too. So to me, everybody said they enjoyed it and had a good time, but behind the scenes, it almost didn't happen. So a lot of people didn't know that an hour beforehand, it almost got shut down.
How come?
They were worried about liability and injuries and stuff too, So there was
that seems mildly reasonable.
That does seem fair.
But I talked to the people from the convention center early that day, and they gave me access to the room, and we had a meeting and stuff too, and we had a plan. So an hour beforehand, going, hey, you got insurance for this thing, and what if someone gets hurt and they sue and blah blah blah. And so now in my head, I'm having a flash forward of going, man, if this place, if Tenley Park gets rid of us, it's gonna be like Antoine Hood was responsible for getting us kicked out of Tenley. That's not what I want to be known for, bro.
Well, fortunately, you made it super safe by surrounding the mats with metal chairs, so there was zero risk of injury.
Yeah, and I told them during the rules meeting I was gonna be hyper vigilant doing anything too, and anytime they got caught in a bad position where they could pop an elbow or a knee, and I would break it up. So, and everybody's pretty cool about how it turned out. So, but I do want redemption though, because I think it could have been way better than what it was. So we'll do it again. I don't know when, but I think I might take a year off and just work on it for 2024, so we can make it big. I'd rather do 1 or 2 big shows every other year and just make a big chunk of money than having it oversaturated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
it definitely was a good time, man. I'll say that, Antoine, from the crowd side of things. I don't think anybody was unhappy, right? Everybody had a good time. It was fun to watch. There was some comedy, probably because somebody was yelling grab his dick and twist it. Yeah. I don't know who was yelling that. I want to say it was from Chaise and Justin's table, but I don't know for sure. More than likely it was that guy. But yeah, man, from the outside looking in, dude, I think you did a great job. And so don't beat yourself up too much.
It was actually, honestly, it was kind of motivational too. So Reggie came up to me and was like, we should do something like that, but basketball instead, just doing something as well. And doing kind of more events like that for USARC, that something we could do at the conventions and go from there. So it was actually really cool and it was a great idea.
So for Texas, we actually been throwing around the past year or so, doing you get bolt action rifles and then playing high card from 500 yards. So thought about doing that too, but I was like, man, do I really want one of these reptile guys with a fucking bolt action?
We're gonna really have to start extending the liability forms here.
Yeah, this sounds like Miguel taking people to the bull riding thing, man. It just sounds like a bad idea.
No,
well, it's just stuff that we were throwing around, but I really think that if we did it in a really, really controlled environment, we can find a way to get it to work. But once again, I don't want some damn massacre somewhere going, this is Antoine's love child.
Yeah, so Texas, there's a great Top Golf location really close to the venue, so we could always do a Top Golf for USARC.
Oh, that'd be dope too.
Yeah,
I know Top Golf actually, because I've talked to them about stuff they're going to do through the St. Vincent House in Indianapolis to raise money, where they'll actually, if you talk to them, they'll actually work with your group. And then all the food and the price of Top Golf actually all goes to the charity it's going to.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, a portion of the proceeds. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
So that'd be something really cool to set up and, get a bunch of people out there for Top Golf and, drink some food.
Yeah, I like it.
And plus dangerous.
Now that you say that,
someone's gonna fall off the edge after having too many drinks. Actually, that's what's gonna happen.
Oh my God. I love that Antoine's over here like, we should do grappling and shooting guns. And Chaise is like, that feels dangerous. Let's just play golf.
It's awfully white of you.
Well, I shut down boxing a bunch of times because I know full well the people who want to box each other are going to show up for boxing and talk about liability. No, I'm not doing that. And, you know, somebody crack somebody in the back of the head, and then that's all she wrote. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not doing that. So people's like, can we do MMA next time? I'm like, no, we can't do MMA next time.
Oh my God.
Can't we just get like those big, like I don't know, inflatable balls or whatever you get in, and you just run at each other?
We can do
that. Sounds like fun to me.
Like some giant sumo suits.
Yes.
Sumo suits and just run at each other.
Yeah. Well, some of us would need the suits. Andrew, if you're listening, you wouldn't because you're fat.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Man.
Dale's in for some Top Golf. Perfect, Dale. We're going to do it. This is good.
What's up, Dale? How you doing, man? What's up, Wiz? Mike Pender.
The Fat Suit Sumo. I'm in.
Man, all the cool people are here.
Yeah, we've got a killer group of people on with us tonight. This is, I mean, it's
you've got a couple questions from the audience.
Go ahead.
Patrick, I don't know if you can put them up or if you want to read them off.
Which who do we want here? Give me a person's comment that you saw and I'll post it up.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This is good for the audio people. We're all just staring at a screen.
Yeah. Sorry.
Make sure you guys are subscribing too, man. I don't think it's new people in here, but the subscriber count hasn't moved. So
smash the like button and subscribe, guys. Smash it like you want to smash Antoine.
Whoa. Hey, my wife wanted to wrestle Antoine at
she did.
Friday night.
We all
Tenley
did.
Thing. I had to keep her. I had to like sit down, Lisa. Like, geez, you're embarrassing.
So, did you guys hear in the crowd? Somebody said the only thing these guys are wrestling with is their sexuality.
That's great.
I almost pissed on myself. Like, I was like, oh my God. I was like, fuck, why did I think of that joke?
Oh my God, that's so good. That is so good.
Patrick, a couple questions start. The first one starts with just under me, and it's then Luke. So from Luke down, I think there's a couple questions.
Wow. Okay. What's up, Troy? Hey, Luke. This is good. This is good.
Keep going. Keep going.
How many pairings will you have this season, Antoine? There we go. We'll start there.
Shit. At least 25, at least.
Okay.
Yeah, so those just like the really big projects, like the multi-recessor stuff, and then I'm still trying to hit that Stranger GHI spot nose clown too. So I got a lot of pairing set up for that. So yep.
Okay. All right. What's been your hardest experience coming into the ball python hobby?
Hardest experience? Just listening to the wrong people, I think. Like everybody, like there's a lot of right ways to do things, but there's also a shit ton of wrong ways as well. So early on, I got a whole lot of wrong, and I don't know if it was because people didn't want to see me do well or they just didn't know better themselves, and I really didn't care to figure out what was the case. But just a whole lot of mistakes, man, and just I'd rather not learn by screwing up. You know what I mean? So I don't fall with the whole let me screw up and I learn on my own. No, I want to get around the people who had good experience and success and failed along the way, and you can listen to those guys. And thankfully, I have that now and over the past few years. But early on, in the early 2000s, man, that really didn't exist. But people just wasn't accessible as the way they are now. So I kind of attribute it to that as well.
Yeah, I mean, the market as a whole, the industry as a whole, right, has just matured a ton. And it's funny you say you want to learn from other people's failures. I think that's the right mentality. But sometimes the failure yourself is finding the right people to learn from, right? And so it's I think that's just a rite of passage and just in any industry for the most part. And unless you get really lucky and link up with the right person right off the bat, you're going to go through struggles.
And that's why I'm so transparent about when I screw up or when I miss stuff too and everything, because a lot of people, I don't think it's fair to sell this fake dream of people coming into the industry that you buy ball pythons, you'll be successful, you know? A lot of people, for some reason, I don't know who they're following, but they thought that during the COVID money time when everybody was getting in, that everybody could just buy a bunch of ball pythons and everything was going to go according to plan, and then boom, you're going to be financially stable, So
yeah,
that dream is just nasty to me, man. First of all, it's animals, so animals are never predictable. It's living things, man. There's always going to be factors that you can't account for. And if your first goal with producing animals is getting rich, then you're in it for the wrong reasons anyway.
Yeah, and everyone wants that instant success too.
Right.
Like, they come in just thinking like, oh, I can buy these, and that next year all the success is going to be there.
Right. And if you try to do that with animals, there's a lot, dude. You could be a day trader, man. You can fucking
yeah.
If I decided that I didn't want to enjoy life and just be fucking rich, there'd be a whole lot of boring shit I could be doing right now. But I actually love the animals, so I love being around them. I love interacting with them, So that's why I've been doing it so long. And even if the market goes to crap, I'm going to still have me a healthy amount of ball pythons around just because I love producing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This last season, I hatched my 1,000th baby. I went back and bought my clutch cards. I hit 1,000. And
Wow.
I'm just excited about number 1,000 as I am with number one,
That's cool.
So, and once that leaves, I'm done,
Yeah.
Antoine, to that point, buddy, if you look at the financial downside, or missing odds or whatever, what do you think keeps you motivated through those things?
Well, a lot of times I know me and I know my luck. So me hitting something I want to on the first try hardly ever happens. So I'm just at this point, I'm just okay, I'm more than likely I'm going to miss this season. So I'll just, get them back eating and get them ready to go in 5 months, start pairing them again. So it's just, at this point, I screwed up so much and missed odds so much on the simplest shit. To me, it's just par for the course now. So I don't even look at it like that. I enjoy the build up and the journey just as much as whether or not I have it in the egg or not, So I like putting the animals together. I like putting the buzz behind the whole project. Dude, I still get messages. Hey, man, did you ever hit the sunset puzzle? And I'm crying now. No, I didn't.
No.
No, I missed it.
Oh, man.
So I just, like I said, I enjoy everything, the whole aspect of the breeding too. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty dope that you can just stick 2 fucking armless animals in the tub and all of a sudden they be like, hey, you, I guess we fucking, all right.
That's how Chaise and Abby do it too.
That's what I've heard. That's actually what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. She has T-Rex arms. She's gonna beat me up. So I'll put this out there, Antoine. You know this a little bit, about me. I mean, I'm a bit discouraged. I'm having a hard time, wanting to pair things. I feel like I'm in a rut. What's your advice to people that are in that situation?
So are you falling out of love with just because you're not seeing the same success, or you're getting bored with the animals themselves too? A little bit of both.
I mean, I think for personally for me, man, I think it's, I'm, and this is for everybody, I think, but there's definitely parts of my collection that I'm just not happy with. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a part of it. I think I took on too many shows this year. And so I think that brought me probably a lot of added stress and whatnot. And then obviously, right, the overall market and things like that, from the business side of it. I mean, I love the animals. I agree with you. I could stop selling animals and keep a certain amount of them just to make me happy. But where I'm at, it has to be treated like a business somewhat. And so, or is a business. And so, yeah, I think that's, I'm rambling, but that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Right. But you doing stuff like this podcast, I think I said that too. I think you're bringing eyes to a new audience as well. So this is another way to get your face out there to kind of hit another target audience group that you're not dealing with right now as well too. So I just think doing this podcast and getting on a lot of other people's shows and just finding some different areas that you normally wouldn't deal with, I think that'll help out a lot, man. So honestly, if you did a month-long podcast run and been on everybody's stuff and just kind of see how those people do, I think you'll be just fine, man. It's cause look at Josh. Josh killing every fucking show, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know
Josh does a really good job. And Josh is a genuine dude, and he's always happy. You know, like,
so so what we need to be doing is get his sauce and figure out what the hell, you know,
Yeah.
like because he has and like people come back to him again and again and again and again because they know what they're getting with him. You know, they're getting great customer service, they're getting quality animals and stuff too. And like you get what he tell you that the animal is, which is also super important. You know, so and he's just a grinder, man. To like every time I turn around, dude, he's show, and I'm just like, I can never be as successful as him because I'm not willing to do the work that he's doing.
He puts in a lot of time, man.
You know.
Yeah, he puts in a ton of time. You know, and the thing a little key point I feel at shows right now. I hope I'm not disingenuous or something, right? Like I'm fearful sometimes that I'm faking it to make it, you know, and you know, I'm not in a good headspace or something, and I wonder if people pick up on that.
I like honestly, when I see you in show mode, you're trolling. You know what I mean? So I don't, and I'm real good at picking up bullshit. So if you're fooling me,
you're doing okay.
A good job, man.
Yeah,
you know?
Good.
But and that's just the thing too, man. Like the way you're branding and marketing with your business, man. Like you have to be like on all the time. That's hard, dude. Like it is, man. Like I think about, but and I'm kind of the same way too because you guys follow stand-up comedy at all?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know who Bert Kreischer is, right?
Yeah.
Very much so.
I remember he was on the pod and he was talking about how he'll do like maybe 4 or 5 shows a night and like when he's on tour, things like that too. And one of the comedians was like, dude, you have the exact same energy from show 1 as the very last show. And he goes, why is that? And he goes, you never know when it's somebody at that show very first time experiencing you or very first time interacting with you or watching you perform. And you don't want to give that very first person that came and spent their money with you a lackluster performance. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like that McDonald's thing where, you know, you're not selling them a 89-cent cheeseburger. Well, I don't know how much they cost it out there, but, you know, you're not selling them one hamburger or cheeseburger. You're selling them one experience so that way they can keep coming back forever. You know what I mean? So that's how every seller, every business person should be presenting themselves as such and behaving that way when they're out in public. You know what I mean? So that's just something I've always believed in. And so like when I say I'm always on, it's not really I'm trying to be phony or different and stuff too, but I'm interacting with people who spend their time to watch my videos, who buy my t-shirts, who buy animals from me. You know what I mean? So, and I appreciate every person that's ever clicked on anything I've been a part of. I'm grateful for because you didn't fucking have to. You know, like my animals are okay, but they ain't fucking. But they ain't. I should have almost 6,000 YouTube subscribers. Okay, fucking.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. It's hard to do that too, Antoine. I always feel like in these guys, and you probably know this too. Like we go to Tenley, I could invite 1,000 people to dinner. Mm-hmm. You know, and a lot of it's because of that. Like I'm thankful that they've taken time to either, you know, whether it's shop with me or just be a friend or, you know, whatever that case is, man, I immediately want to repay that. And that's tough, man. It's tough I feel like I'm always afraid that I'm hurting people's feelings at a show and stuff. Cause you get these 20 and 25 and 30 people dinners. And then it's, you know, like number 31, like who am I cutting off, you know? And it's so tough. And so, you know, to that point, man, it's hard to find a way to, you know, pay everybody back.
Yeah, but at the same time, so that brings me to my next point, man. Dude, you ain't gonna be able to please everybody, bro.
There it is.
It's always gonna be some what about me ass person like lurking in the shadows and stuff, trying to figure out why they felt left out or why they didn't do this or
we call that Justin.
You know,
I was gonna say Chaise.
You know, like I remember when I first started YouTube, there's a YouTuber that I somehow came across his page. He made a whole video about how he's been doing YouTube for 3 years and he still only has 200 subscribers because he's not part of the good old boys. And he seemed like a subliminal shot to me. I was like, I don't think you know what a good old boy is, bro, if you're calling me a good old boy.
You're not using the word you think you are.
You're using the word. I don't think you know how to use it right.
Oh my God.
That's great.
So yeah, just stuff like that, man. Like I think if you spend all this time whining about when is it gonna be your turn, bro, it's never gonna be your turn. Like never. Like all this wishing and hoping and doing all this, man. Like you got to get out there and make stuff happen for yourself, you know. So like nothing good in my life's happened to me because I sat on my ass and hoped that it was gonna happen. Never, you know.
Right. Yeah, you get out of it what you put in it.
Mm-hmm.
And Upstate was talking about, you know, success not being measured in dollars from a show. That's a really good point. And I don't think anybody, you know, here tonight feels that way. I've always said that, you know, I don't even necessarily care about the dollars I make at a show. To me, it's more about marketing and things like that. I think overall, if you just say from January 1st to December 31st, like the dollars are obviously a part of it, right? If you're doing this as a full-time or you're trying to become full-time, then at the end of the day, it's your business, right? So like, I still don't think you have to measure your success in dollars, but it certainly makes it easier when, you know, dollars are coming in.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it also just comes down to like what you're like, kind of what you just said. Like, if you are trying to run a business, like the success of your business desperately relies on money coming in, right? So dollars do matter. But like a show, and we've talked about this before, the sales at the show aren't the only thing that matters. So the money at the show isn't necessarily what matters. It's that bump after the show. It's the sales. It's the networking. There's a lot more to it that leads to the final goal of income.
Yeah, that's
right?
the thing. It's the contacts you meet at the shows that help just skyrocket what you do outside of the shows.
Right.
Besides,
I've always made more money after a show about people hitting me up because it was something that they saw and couldn't pull the trigger right away afterwards too. I always do well, like within the first 2 to 3 weeks after a show. You know, people take my cards, my stickers, and you know somehow they just happen to look at my like other folder on Instagram and see a message. That was a couple of weeks old. You know?
Man, that's that other folder is rough. Like every now and then, like I'll get in there and I haven't checked it, and you're like, "There's 9 people that I unintentionally ignored." I'm just like, guys, please don't be mad at me, please.
A dude was like arguing himself in the DMs, like, "Oh, I know you saw this, blah blah blah. So you can't even help somebody out, blah blah." And then just kind of went on this whole thing, and then he watched me on the podcast. Like I guess a couple months later, and then he sent me a message on YouTube like, "Hey man, I apologize for like yelling at you in your DMs." I'm like, "I don't know who you are, bro." Then he was like, "Okay, then forget about it." So
that's great.
That other folder is
Speaking of shows, Antoine, how do you see, you know, with your move, how do you see things going forward show wise?
So I think now, well, starting in 2024, I'm gonna do a lot of shows in the area. So I'm gonna do Raleigh, which is like 2.5 hours from me. I want to do Columbia, South Carolina, which is about 5 hours. And if I can get into like the Repticons, like the Atlanta show maybe or something like that, I might decide to do that too. So, and then there's some like the Gettysburg ones, like Virginia area and DC. So I think I'm gonna just be a little bit more active in the show circuit, like 2024 and beyond.
Do you think like you'd expand out into the Midwest, you know, like St. Louis or Nashville, any of that stuff?
That's too much driving.
Yeah, at least you're honest, man. Yeah, I'll take it.
Bro, if you don't think about me, Antoine hates driving. Like, people like, "Oh man, when I become successful, I'm gonna get me a Maserati or I'm gonna get me this castle." The first thing I'm buying is a driver. That's it. And then maybe if I get a driver, I'll do a lot of I'll come out to the Midwest shows and shit. But your boy, dude, I'm dreading doing this cross country drive again. I just did it a month ago. I gotta do it again.
That's tough,
with and you said it's with 2 dogs and your breeder girls, right?
Well, I'm shipping my females here.
Okay.
So a friend of mine's gonna drop them off, and I'm like 24 hours out. So, but I'm just giving myself like 4 days, and right now I got some stops mapped out, some Airbnbs and stuff too. So so I stayed in Amarillo, Texas last time at an Airbnb. So
did you eat the steak?
No, there's no way I could have all that shit on my stomach trying to drive across the country. I thought
you were a real man. Turns out you can't eat a 64-ounce steak.
Yeah. I I didn't even get to take a picture with the biggest cross in the country either. I was like, man, I'm exhausted, bro. And then Dave Levison sent me to some shitty restaurant in Oklahoma. So
that's because it was in Oklahoma.
I mean, I did give you a really good Oklahoma City restaurant, but you skipped out on my recommendation.
Yeah. He said I would not stop contacting you until you go there. I was like, oh man. And then I told him how shitty the steak was, and he was like, oh man. So, but shout out to Dave Levison though, man. That's my guy.
Oh my
that
God.
dude is the best, man.
So,
Quick note about Dave. Everybody knows Dave is kind of a goofy, whatever. But honest to God, he's probably one of the most caring dudes I've ever met.
Absolutely.
So I'm still doing that book, right?
Oh my God, that book would be that if that doesn't bring $10,000 at an auction.
That's gonna be. So
Oh
for
my
those of you who
God.
don't know, Dave Levison sends a lot of Facebook messages to random people.
Yes,
just
he
his
does.
random thoughts throughout the day, his movie ideas, his book ideas, and so on and so forth. Occasional nudes here and there. And so I'm doing a compilation of all those messages over the past 3 years. I want to call it Letters from Dave. And
Oh my God.
it's going to be a 1-of-1. And I'm going to get it published and everything. And I'm going to fucking auction off at US Arc. And
That's amazing.
Wow.
I love that so much.
So.
Oh, that is so good. Let's see. We got a question. Where'd it go? I know I saw it from Michael. So do you guys ever shift things around in your collection, move out breeder girls, or bring in a completely different male, either genetically or a totally different project male? I mean, yeah, I was about to say, I think everybody would say absolutely definitively, yes, your collection will.
It's kind of one of those constant things like year after year that you have to do.
Yeah.
If you're going to continue to curate and update your collection. If you don't, you're going to start getting like stale genetics over time where
obsolete stuff too. Yeah.
Where you're not going further. You're not going more cutting edge. If you're not moving some of those older girls out and replacing them with other girls that you've produced or other boys you've produced. I mean, we're switching out males, we're switching out females year after year as they're getting replaced with higher genetics.
And honestly, even with stuff that is fine for the genetic level, but if it's not producing, like if it's not breeding, like if it has like the weight and all the minimum stuff too, and it's almost 3 to 4 years old, and I still don't have a clutch from a female, she's gone. I've had snakes that I didn't get a clutch from until they were 6 or 7 years old, but at that point, it was like a pastel het lavender albino that didn't produce till she was 6. What the fuck I'm gonna do with a pastel het lab at 6 years into the project, So just stuff like that. So like males, if I got a male and he gets to 3 years old and still hasn't bred anything, gone. What are you doing? Why are we here?
Yeah.
Like you're just freeloading. So I think that's really important too, just kind of moving out that and upgrading your animals all the time. Like honestly, you shouldn't have a breeder male for more than 4 years. Unless it's like some complex combo that you're really boogering the odds on all the time, So I mean, like I see if like you had a Pompeii and you kept breeding them to like posset clown females, and then you kept missing.
So I said that's different.
That's
Pompeii.
I mean,
male and your strongest female is a 50% head clown, and you breed them to like 6 girls, and you keep missing on a Pompeii. Obviously. You know what I mean? That's a different situation itself, and you're crazy for that anyway. You should have got better girls, but just keep them being stale, moving on from projects, and not sitting on stuff too long is super important. I agree.
Yeah, that's a good question.
For sure.
I'm loving
the other question I saw in there is
so much.
Huh?
Okay.
Troy looks the exact same from the front and the back.
Somebody said that.
Antoine, I'll give you one guess who said it.
Jerome or
nope.
Or Jacob?
Jacob, that fucking garden gnome.
Holy hell.
Andrew wants an explanation as to why you were so quick to murk him, Antoine.
Huh?
Said we have a person that wants they want an explanation as to why you were so quick to murk them.
Oh, because he's the least compliant out of the group.
Oh,
true.
Okay. There it is. Sorry, Andrew. Thoughts and prayers.
Sorry, Andy.
Man.
Yeah, Andrew, I'll give you my response to that question privately.
Oh my God.
Hey, it's exactly what I'm thinking. That was my real answer, Troy, but I'm going to leave that alone.
You and I are on the same page.
Troy, look who commented.
Yeah, what?
Oh,
Oh, the true love of my life.
Oh my God. Is Molly at the house, Chase?
I don't know what she's doing right now, but
No, I was saying, is she at your house?
No.
I wish she was at mine.
Oh my God. I love that. Molly, do you have any specific questions for Troy you'd like to ask?
Our
Troy,
babies are going to be beautiful.
Troy, don't do this. Give her a second to ask a question. Oh no, she just said she's out. Oh, sorry, boys.
Troy ruined it. That's how most of Troy's first dates went.
Come on, Molly. Just a little fun. Come on, just a tiny bit. Just one question for Troy.
She knows if she sticks around, she'll fall in love.
Oh, she said, "How's the brown sugar, Troy? How's the brown sugar?"
Listen, I bought a whole bag of brown sugar at Tenley show, and Fat Andrew and Jacob ate it all. I didn't get any. They also ate all of my mega stuffed Oreos.
You've got more people just eating brown sugar?
Yeah, I'm starting a movement.
That's a real problem.
Why?
That's not a movement you want to start.
Well, it's the movement I'm going with.
The diabetes movement.
So Leviathan asked, what factors you consider if you're thinking about selling off a project that I'm already invested in? I tell you, for me, if it's a project that doesn't exist yet and it looks like absolute dog shit when someone produces it, I'll get rid of it. Because I don't want to have, honestly, I want to have stuff in my rack that I enjoy looking at. And if the project is a dud, then, or I think it's a dud, I'll move on from it. Somebody else may like it, but if it's not for me, you got to go.
What if it's a highly valuable project?
If it comes out looking like a hidden gene Roma, nah.
But it's still like super valuable. You still gonna dump it?
I mean, situation dictates, but if it's like some, but like, okay, like if it's like some monsoon project, it's gonna look weird and busy as hell, and probably washed out with the right genes, and it may be something you could work with. But if I don't see a future with it, I don't see the point of hanging on to the project. Or like I said, with a lot of stuff too, if it like takes a real big dip, like if next year Ultramel Clown's up fucking $1,200, I'm probably gonna get out of the project too.
Really?
Because I put so much time into like raising these animals up and stuff too. I feel like I could buy, if I could buy the end result, I don't feel the need to chase it anymore. Like right now, like I have some double head males and females, but I really can afford a visual Ultramel Clown. And if a Ultramel Batman existed right now, I would buy the Ultramel Batman and then just have him. That's just me, man.
I mean, I definitely understand that mindset of like, if you have the opportunity and the means to buy something, so then you can skip the time to actually try and produce it yourself and miss those odds. Absolutely, that makes sense. But as far as like just dropping a project, I feel like most of the time you just have to work projects pretty deeply and put them into different things to finally see what works with it, and then drive it home. Like Red Stripe's probably the best example I could come up with quickly. Is everyone's like, oh, it's kind of just like a brownish, reddish snake, and they dropped it, and then we produced the Pompeii, and then Red Stripes were everywhere all of a sudden, and the Magma project was kind of born and just moved mountains at that point in time in the industry.
Yeah, I think it's a very nuanced answer. I don't think I don't even necessarily look at the value as the answer either, because I mean, making a $1,200 snake is great. I mean, let's be honest.
Well,
that's good money.
Patrick, it's also because I have limited space as well too. I don't have the room for 1,000,001 projects either. So
I get that. Right. That's why I say it's not really. It's very nuanced, right? Because if you have tons of space, that changes things.
Yeah.
There's a value aspect, and I do agree. Like Chase also said it. I would tell you right now, if you're breeding a double het Ultra Clown male, you should stop. And you should buy a visual to breed to your double hets so you can make females and other that would be infinitely better decision. But I, specifically that project, I can tell you, we're not dropping it. There's a lot of legs in that project, and even adding new genes. And then, the nice thing with
I would get out of that project just because you guys are in it.
Because we're in it?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. You're at the bottom of the barrel for me.
Oh, that makes sense. That's fair. That's okay.
Well, but like I said though, with those combos, like there's no one's selling a spot nose ultra male clown right now. No one's selling the leopard ultra male clown right now either, as far as I know. So
and they have some in Europe, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I could get away with like having like those double heads now, like spot nose double heads, leopard double heads sitting around trying to hope I hit big on all the odds or something like that, and I'm fine with that. But if it gets to the point where all these combos are coming out too, and they're in that range where they're under like in the 10K range, I'd rather just have that,
Yeah, I mean, but you have that, right? You buy that male, then you breed it back to your females. So you keep the project. You're not dumping the project. You're just jumping.
No, but just like moving on from some of the stuff that I have, you know what I mean? There's some like the more simpler stuff,
Oh, Troy, that's true. I am less than Andre. That's fair. Why would they sell something they are using to push and make something even crazier?
What happened?
I'm not sure I fully understand, homeboy. Why would they sell something they are using to push and make something even crazier?
Oh, so maybe they mean like why would they sell like an animal they produce that could take the ball further?
Oh, a lot of people
and they sell it, they cash out instead of push for that next. And we see that. I feel like we see that a lot in the industry where people will, they've got a small collection and they hit the crazy odds, and they immediately want to cash out on that animal instead of holding on to it and taking it the distance to that. I mean,
that happens more often than not.
Oh,
because they want to make their money back too from what they put into it. So they want to. A lot of people want to strike while the iron is hot instead of like adding on to that project. They'll hit a goal and then here, boom. At least now, or they might see like a dip coming or feel a price drop coming from they got the animals, and that way they kind of feel like they didn't lose a lot on the project too. So
yeah, I do think too, and like this is not aimed at any specific person, but like there's a lot of people in the industry that are very short-sighted, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I've seen plenty of times where a small breeder, did a double het to double het or triple het to triple het pairing, hit the best snake possible, and then sold the male immediately, right? And I think that's the dumbest thing you can do. Like if you're in a small collection and you hit that top end male, like hold that male and breed it. You're gonna make more money, like almost guaranteed, as long as it breeds. I understand if and once again, there's caveats here, right? Like if you have to have the money, like I get all that stuff, but if you're in a situation where like you don't absolutely have to sell that animal, that should be like the last animal you sell.
Well, I'll give you a good example of that and name names now because everybody knows it. So like with look,
don't get us canceled, Antoine.
Comment section sitting up now. Look at the Sunset Clown. Matt sold it to Miguel. Miguel probably made $500,000 off that thing so far.
But it was supposed to be a female initially, right?
No, it was a male. He bought it as
a male. I thought Matt initially sold it as a female, and then it turned out to be a male. No, he sold it as a male. Okay. Yeah, that's craziness.
Yeah, he bought that, and I mean, he got it for a really, really great deal in my opinion, and balled out with that thing.
Yeah,
it did great with it, especially a double recessive male out the gate too, full world's first. So yeah, he did his thing, but
yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Like I mean, like how I look at it is anytime we hit like that next big cutting edge thing, like we made the odds, we hit that animal, that's you just got to start thinking 5 years down the road, kind of as a base versus like I just got to move it out. I'll do that pairing again next year and hit another one, or possibly hit another one. Because that's your future there, and I feel like if you get rid of that, you're selling a huge part of your future.
Right, and there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee you're going to hit it again either.
Yeah, absolutely. There's absolutely no guarantee.
Chaise, can you think of a morph that a combo you guys hit that you were disappointed in, that you moved on from like right early on, like right away you hit it, or maybe it wasn't something on your radar, it just so happened, it just happenstance that you hit this combo, but you guys end up selling it. Can you think of something like that? Or
man, that's a good one. That's actually really tough to. That's gonna make me think for a minute.
That's the answer of he's not allowed to say.
No.
And that's okay. Don't get in trouble, Chaise.
The easy one is just like years ago, like after we had like the Pompeii, we put red stripe and pied, and then it was kind of meh. And then I was pretty. I've seen good ones, but I was pretty disappointed just with like puzzle clowns.
Yeah.
That's one that I had like a lot of hope for, and then I was just like, it's okay. But then at the same time, I know like you just got to put in more work, and we'll probably have something great with it. Spot nose puzzle clown, and it'll probably just
I think it's going to take a really busy pattern to kind of for the puzzle to fight back against the clown too. So
that particular project, man, it seems like we've seen multiple examples and not one that's been consistent.
Yeah, since that one in Japan or whatever it is the only one I've actually was like, okay, that's a puzzle clown, and so far I haven't seen any other ones where I was like, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Like all the other puzzle clowns I've seen is you got to do. It's almost like the fucking Emperor's New Clothes. Where you got to act like you see puzzle in it and be like, oh yeah,
it's a tough project right now, and I mean, Will Morose and I have gone back many times on that project, back and forth on it, and he still has faith in it, and we don't have a leg in the project at all, and I have faith that somebody eventually will hit something crazy with it, but I'm gonna let them hit it, and then we'll see what happens from there.
My hypothesis on that is, other than like the busier clown stuff, I think you got to use like the most basic, dirtiest pattern clowns out there when you're doing it. Like, stop putting it to inchy clowns and blade clowns and leopard clowns and leopard inchy super blade clowns.
Right. KG, you send me a picture of an amazing puzzle clown, and I will eat every word I've ever said for the past 5 years. I promise it.
Oh God, I hope you do. Please, KG,
right now,
dude. You send it. I won't even. You just send it to me privately, and I promise you, I will eat every word. But I have heard that same sentiment, unfortunately, from a lot of people, and every time I get shown one, it's rough.
But that's the thing too. Those I love the puzzle project. Like,
of course, the puzzle project is great. Yeah,
I've been breeding away with confusion. Of course, is one of my favorites with it. So I've got a confusion puzzle, red striped confusion puzzle, and a spot nose confusion puzzle, and been using those 3 boys pretty consistently this year. They've been doing well, and I'm excited to have some really cool results from it this year.
Yeah. KG, I wish I could trust you, but I can't steer the business in a direction based on trust.
But KG, I do agree though that if a lot of those that you see weren't puzzle clowns, I agree with that too. I think a lot of the puzzle clowns that we saw were not puzzle
100%.
Oh no. I 100% agree with that as well. Yeah. Like I think it unfortunately does get mis-ID'd a lot as well. The pictures though that I've seen from people that I would trust that say like, no, this is a puzzle clown, just haven't, I would trust those individuals, and it's just been a little underwhelming, unfortunately, but that's all right. I mean, we're going to find the right mixture. It's just Chimera's not going to. We'll let somebody else find it, and then we'll go from there. And that's okay.
awfully kind of you.
I know. We are incredibly generous.
It's perfectly fine to have people be that canary in the mine shaft.
That's it, man.
Go through projects and stuff too, So I mean, like honestly, dude, like world's first and stuff like that. They're awesome on like the positive standpoint. Is like being the first to produce some cool animals too. But it's also important for people to show like, okay, stay away from this project because it's ass. It's a pack of ass.
I think it's important to show it, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the caveats of like, we maybe look. So I don't know what everybody's opinion on like the Sunset Clown Pied was. That was shown off at Tenley. It's an incredible animal genetically, but I was a little bummed that it lost a lot of like the black pattern and stuff in the pied. And so it was like, I don't think that's a dead end at all. I think we need to find the right genes to mix in there to really make it blow out. But
I think Inchy would bring more, obviously would bring more to the pattern in too. So hopefully something like that will. Like,
I hope so, man. I really do. I think there's stuff we can add. Yellow belly, Inchy. I think getting hypo in there is going to be great too. But I don't think you just throw it, in the trash because that first example was what it was, right? We work from there. And that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the exciting thing too about just what we do for a living is, we hit these amazing, triple recessive combos, and then like the Sunset Clown Pied, maybe it's incredibly genetically, but maybe it's kind of a letdown pattern wise. But that just means we have years and years and years of work, and I mean we all have a living for years to come because there's so much cool stuff to do with it still. With the Antic DG Clown. I want to start stacking codoms into it. I want to make the pattern crazier. I want to,
Dude,
want to mix
the general consensus was everybody hated the Desert Ghost Sunset. And looking at when Miguel made the initial video, and even when Justin was over there and he showed it in his video, in person, it looks nothing like either of those videos.
Yeah.
It looks way better in person.
Yeah. I'm really excited about DG Sunset future just because of how great it is in person.
Yeah, like the cameras just can't. It's just hard, and it sounds like I'm like nut hugging because obviously Miguel's my boy and shit like that too. But I mean, I'm more critical to him than anybody. You know?
Yeah.
So, but it's just really it's way better looking than what we've seen, man. And how did the Hypo DG Sunset shed already, Chase?
Yeah.
How's it look?
He
was at Tenley.
Yeah, we brought it to Tenley.
Oh, I didn't know it shed. I didn't even know. I didn't even see it until I saw the video. So I didn't even know it was there. So that's how much
it was at Tenley.
I love it, and of course because it's got DG, they get better as they age too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Miguel's looks so much nicer in person now that it's had some time to age.
Yep.
So that's why I'm even more excited to start. Let's keep rolling the ball here. Let's put some more codons in it. I mean, let's really roll it up.
It's gonna be interesting.
We technically have a couple minutes left.
Yeah, we have 4 minutes. I was actually pulling up Chat GPT now, so we can.
I think your Chat GTP story should be how Antoine killed Andrew, and how he tortured me, and how he screwed Jacob, and how he married Jerome.
All right, one moment. Right, I'm gonna give it an extra 50 words for this.
This should be good. It better be good. Damn it.
About
Antoine, while he's typing stuff in. Obviously people can probably find you pretty easily, but just in case somebody comes across this and has no idea who you are, can you tell people where to look for you at?
If you Google High Desert Pythons, TikTok will come up, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everything is there. My morph market, my phone number is public. So if you just want to call and talk about snakes, guess what? We'll talk about fucking snakes, bro. I'm that guy, and I got no animals here right now. I'm lonely as fuck.
Oh my god! Who did Antoine have sex with? I'm sorry, guys. This is important stuff here.
Jacob.
That's what I had.
Who's also known as the garden gnome.
All right. Let's see. I got Andrew. I got Troy. I got Jacob. And then what did we do?
Jerome.
We married
Jerome. He's wifey material. Antoine, before I forget, as we're ending this podcast, thank you. I appreciate you taking time out. I know that you probably have to work early in the morning, and so I appreciate you giving up some time to hang out with us tonight.
I'm gonna sleep good tonight, man. So I'm actually gonna get to bed. This will be the earliest I've been in bed all week. So yeah, so I'm like physically exhausted from doing this fucking rack shit, and I'm on painkillers right now. Well, not real painkillers. I'm on Tylenol, so I'm ready to take it.
I learned today. I listened while I was sick and laying in bed. I listened to Joe Rogan talk about how bad Tylenol and Advil are for you.
Yeah, I heard that too, and they're also from like Johnson & Johnson, right? Tylenol, and they're the devil. So Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but those are rabbit holes. So
yeah, I'm normally not like a real painkiller guy and shit like that too. But man, I had to take some. I always have a little aspirin in case I have some like heart issues from the incident 2 years ago. So
yeah,
I'll just pop a little stuff for that and
feel. So unfortunately, torture and murder are content violations. So it gave us a story. We can go with it, but it's not going to be what we're hoping for. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to go with it. Let's just do it. This is the gig. All right. Are we ready for this?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Antoine torturing Troy was quite the character, with a name that sounded like an escapade in itself. He lived up to it every single day of his life. Firstly, he hadn't really tortured Troy, despite what the rumors might say. In fact, Troy was his pet tortoise, who Antoine took on adventurous walks around town. They'd often head to the park where Troy would move at his own leisurely pace. Wearing a leash and tiny sneakers, people would often mistake their bizarre strolls for a performance act and toss coins at them. Antoine didn't mind the extra cash, and Troy, well, he got an extra lettuce leaf or two. Now about murdering Andrew. Andrew was a pesky fly that had taken residence in Antoine's apartment for weeks. Antoine had attempted to get rid of it, swatting and missing every time. One day, while practicing his karaoke, Antoine belted out a high note, causing Antoine to drop dead, or Andrew to drop dead. Thus, he murdered Andrew, and with no remorse whatsoever, he bragged about his crime at every social gathering. He'd say, "Have you heard? I killed Andrew with my voice," to which people would look bewildered and slightly concerned. Then there was that incident with Jacob, when people whispered about him having sex with Jacob. They were actually mispronouncing sax, as in the musical instrument. Jacob was the name of Antoine's antique saxophone. And boy, did he love to play it during unexpected times. Funerals, yoga classes, silent reading sessions at the library, you name it. Lastly, marrying Jerome wasn't as scandalous as it sounded either. Jerome was a budding artist who once asked Antoine to pose for a portrait. But with Antoine's restless nature, he ended up smudging the painting by accident. Thus, he marred Jerome's work, leading to endless apologies and a lifetime supply of croissants as compensation. Such was the life of Antoine, torturing Troy, a man whose name was filled with adventures that were never quite what they seemed. There you go.
All right.
It's pretty good stuff.
It's something, that's for sure.
It's something.
It's something.
Yep.
That's one way to end it tonight.
Chill.
I heard something that I've been putting a lot of thought into since was that time is infinite and your heartbeats aren't. So appreciate everyone who gives their time to hang out and talk and listen with you. And so, Antoine, thank you so much for being on. Chat, you guys are amazing as always. Thank you for giving us your heartbeats, being here, and hanging out with us.
I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It helps get us visible to other people so we can all have a great time together. And then make sure to go like and subscribe to everybody, Troy, Chaise, Antoine, and myself. And we will see y'all next week, right?
Yeah. Next week, we'll have Joel from State 48. Yep. So good stuff. We'll chat with Joel next week.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everyone.